Our question is from KC. Hi Kathy, I just finished Disc3 Legs and found that my forearms were on fire toward the end. When I did the first round of wide stance deadlifts, I was using 22.5 pounds and thought I could go a bit heavier because my legs felt like they weren't being challenged enough. Well, when I got to squats using 25 pounds, then into calf raises, I really started to feel the heat. By the time I got to narrow stance squats, followed by calf raises and then deadlifts, my forearms were screaming, but I felt that I could have gone heavier, at least for the deadlifts. What do you do when the forearm burn gets in the way of going heavier? Well, the first thing that I know a lot of people talk about is using hooks or a device. And actually, I have a picture of these weightlifting hooks right here by altisathletic.com if you want to check them out. That takes a lot of stress off the forearms if you find yourself in that position. However, that is one option, but I don't want you to completely stay away from training your forearms because that's going to help you with every activity from weight training with barbell curls or anything. So if you find yourself in one situation where you want to go really heavy and you're limited, the hooks are a good option. However, for just general training, I really do want you to work on forearm strength, and I'm going to show you some things to do. First of all, looking at the forearm, you have the wrist extensors, you have the forearm extensors top and bottom, and many times people think, oh, I want to work my forearms, I'm going to focus on the gripping action. But just like any other muscle group, you need to have balance. So you can't just train the gripping, which is the underside that gets worked, and ignore the top extensors of the forearm. So I'm going to show you balanced training here so that you can keep the entire forearm conditioned equally. For your gripping action, you have some options. You can use forearm grippers. Again, an item available anywhere, but altisathletic.com does have them. However, choose them wherever. You can see these all over, and you can use them driving. You can use them, just have them at your desk and squeeze them all the time. That's going to get your gripping action really strong. We also have the putty ball in the Fitness by Cathe line. Actually, it's a gel ball, and what you do is just squeeze it. You can have one or two of them lying around. Again, another thing great to do in the car or have at your desk and squeeze, and just that's going to work on your grip. But the other thing that you want to keep in mind is now we need to focus on the top, not just the underside. So I have some exercises here. I have a series of rubber bands that are small. If you want to take one thicker rubber band, though, that'll work as well, too. But if you want to do the skinnier band option, which is the one that I like, because then you can always just add one more skinny band on and increase the resistance as you go. And what you'll do is put that around your fingers like this, and you're just going to open and close your fingers. Now, you're not going to be able to really open them wide, but that's the whole point of the exercise, so that you're challenging the top portion of the forearm muscles, and you're going to feel that right away. Now, you can do the fingers as a whole, or you can do just the thumb and the pointer. You can do them separately, and then switch and do the middle finger, etc., and move on. Another thing that you can do is take a ball of putty, and you can find that at hobby stores or whatever. You just need to make sure that you don't take something so tough and stiff that you can't even open it. But you would just roll it out on a table, put the ball right there on the table, and you take your fingers and you dig right into the center of the putty ball and try to spread that putty open. And then take your fingers out and spread it again. And you'd work that putty ball and just try to open it up to be a flat mass, and you would really feel the top of your arms working there. Now, if you want to do a combination exercise of getting the under and the overside, very easy. Just take a washcloth, dip it in the water, and wring it out. And that's going to work the top and the bottom. And you just keep doing that and holding the strength at the end. You can even hold it and count for 10, release it, wind it up again, hold and count for 10 seconds. Excellent exercises for that. Some other exercises you want to keep in mind for your wrist strength, which also helps with your forearm strength, is some exercises. You don't want to go too heavy on these exercises. You'd stay light, and I'm just going to put my foot up here to create a flatter surface. But you would let your arm hang on a flat edge, and I'm just using a 3-pound weight here, and you just curl in. You could do 3 sets of 15. Being that the weight is very light and this is more of a high rep exercise, you could even go as high as 20 to 25 reps and get some good resistance and get some good endurance in the muscles here. That would be for your gripping action, the underside. Now for your overside, you would just flip your wrist around and lift up like this. Okay? So you would do each arm, obviously, and This side you might find is a little harder. These muscles tend to be just a little weaker, so you might need to even go a little lighter with your weight. This is also an exercise where you could use your micro load gloves because it'd be a nice challenge and a comfortable way to do the exercise. I do have one more piece of equipment to show you, and it's called a wrist roller, and it kind of wraps it all up in one. You're going to get your wrists conditioned, you're going to get your forearms, top and bottom sides covered. What you need to do is just stand on a high unit. You have a weight that's attached right on the bottom side here, so you can put whatever weight you want. You will not need a lot of weight. And all you do is let it down on the string all the way to the bottom, and then you just reverse it and roll it right back up. And coming back up is a lot harder than going back down. And you would just keep doing that for about 90 seconds, or until you feel an extensive burn in the arm. You don't want to go too hard on that, but you want to feel a nice challenge in there, and then rest, and you can repeat it again or just do it once and build your endurance up as time goes. Hopefully you found all that information helpful. That pretty much wraps it up for this week's session at Cathe TV. Remember to increase your weight by 5% for the next week's workouts, and we'll see you next time.